I'm Nikki D and you found 5 Dog Farm. Today I'm going to make something that you're probably saying, why would you make those at home? You can buy them in the store really inexpensively. Swami Nikki says, you're asking me that question, you've never made homemade marshmallows because you would know why you would make them at home. They don't taste a thing like the ones at the store. They are heavenly. They're just so good. Not that the ones at the store are horrible, but there's so much more flavor, so much more fluffiness, just so much more to a homemade marshmallow. And it's not that not only is it not that difficult, it's kind of crazy how easy it is. So if you saw the other recipe that I have done showing you if you don't like corn syrup, if you don't want to use something GMO, how to make a substitute of cane syrup just using sugar and water and some cream of tartar. So hop over to that recipe, I'll link it down below, and on the blog there'll be a link to it as well. And what you're going to have is your cane syrup. Now I used organic sugar, so you get this color. Don't panic, because even though you're getting this color, by the time we're done, you're going to get, I made these. This is a batch of marshmallows that I made. You do not see golden brown marshmallows. No, you do not. You see lovely, beautiful, snowy white marshmallows. So there you go. That's a fun thing about baking. So there's 2 things to do to start. The entire recipe will be on www.5dog.farm, where you can just click and print it for yourself. I do these because I just love showing you how easy it is. Sometimes you read a recipe and you think, oh my goodness, making cane syrup. Oh, no, it's really easy when you see me do it. I hope it encourages you to do it as well. So what we're going to start with here is 3 packages of unflavored gelatin, you know, the kind that comes in these little packets. You need 3 of these packets. You're going to pop that into your mixer, and let's lift that up a little bit. There we go. Put that into your mixer along with a 1/2 cup of filtered water, drinking water. Put that in there. We are now going to ignore that. Done. That was easy, right? That's simple. So into your saucepan, we're going to do the same thing we did for the cane sugar. We're going to bring these ingredients up to a soft boil on a candy thermometer. So you're going to take a 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. Again, this is organic sugar, so there's a bit of a tan color to it. You're going to take a 1/2 cup of water. You're going to take your cane syrup here that we made. Couldn't be easier, right? Cane syrup. And in that mixture, the last thing to go is a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. Other than later on us putting in vanilla extract, those are your ingredients. Very simple. Yes, it is a sugary treat. It certainly is. But I mean, oh. So we had a little technical difficulty. The GFI circuit did not like the lights on with our little range top here. I don't want to have my back to you guys when I'm cooking on Gigi's stove. So this is really for now until the farmhouse is done, the only setup I could do. So I had to do a little dancing around some plugs, but we've got ourselves going now. So as I had said, you put all those ingredients again into your saucepan. You want to dissolve the sugar, make sure that it's all nice and dissolved, no bits of granulated sugar in there. And then you want to put your candy thermometer in and bring it up to the soft boil stage of 240 degrees. So it's going to take a little bit. I'm not going to have you suffer through that part. We'll speed this up. And when we come back, I'll show you the next step. So I turned this down to medium because I don't want it to boil over. I'm also refraining from stirring. If I keep stirring and adding air, I'm actually going to make it foam up, and I don't want that. So now it's just a matter of waiting for it to reach that soft boil mark on the candy thermometer. So that's what we're going to do. almost there. So as you can see, this is not difficult. It's about as exciting as waiting for paint to dry. The technical difficulty level is low, the patience level is high. But we've just about reached the mark. As soon as we hit that, we're going to shut off the little hot plate here and carefully pour our syrup into the mixer. And I believe we are there. So off goes our hot plate. Now remember, we already put our water in with our gelatin. The gelatin's just sitting here nice and quiet, waiting for us to show up. Here it is, you can see it just hanging in here doing its thing. And we're gonna get that syrup poured in here. Slowly. I'm going backwards for you guys, but there we go. I have not forgotten the vanilla. It's just not time to put it in yet. I'm going to go set this off to the side. I don't want to put it on Gigi's counter. Alright, so we put the mixing head down. Please lock it. Sometimes I forget to do that. I always check to make sure. This could be splattery. We just realized we've made hot sugar. We don't want it to splatter. So start on low. I'm going to tell you now before it gets loud. Start on low. You'll hear me gradually increasing all the way to high. You're going to want it on 10. If you have a KitchenAid, that 10 is your setting. Whatever else you have, you'll want to get it to your highest setting. At that point, you're going to let it run for 15 minutes. No, you do not have to stick with me for those 15 minutes. I will step away and we will come back and see the beautiful, amazing fluffiness that you're going to get out of this golden looking sugar. So stick around, you can see what comes next. So our 15 minutes has passed. I'm shouting. Our 15 minutes has passed. I don't know about you, but I got dishes cleaned up because I do not like sugar to solidify on anything. That is a pain. And look, remember I told you that brownish color would go away? I wasn't kidding. This is the part where when Maddie sees this video, she's going to be a little bit upset because she likes to lick the beater. Sorry, Maddie. So we'll get this off of here. So the last thing that you're going to want to do here, oh, you know what? I almost forgot. You need to put in your vanilla. What was I thinking? See? You need to put in your vanilla and give it a quick whirl. So I'm going to lock this back down, pop this on slow, mix in my vanilla. I use clear vanilla because I do like the snowy color of the marshmallows. If you use regular vanilla extract, it'll get a little bit brown. That's up to you, whatever you want to do. Just mixing that in a bit. You will find your motor gets a little bit warm. That's okay. All right, I think that's good now. I'm going to grab my little silicone helper here, pop this back open with the yummy vanilla in it. The recipe will be on the blog. Like I said, I just like showing you guys that this stuff is simple. I follow recipes, then I change them up. So there are times when if I'm blogging or videoing for you guys, if I forget something, I usually pop it into the video. Oops, look what Nikki forgot. I mean, that's just how life goes. You just don't remember everything all the time. I am not a professional cook. You already knew that. All right, so there's some yumminess right there. So you're going to want to take about a 8x9. It doesn't really matter what size you use, if it's a square or a rectangle, but make sure it has the higher sides. You don't want to use a cookie sheet or something. You want marshmallows, not marshmallows. So undo this, fill this generously with some sifted powdered sugar, which I have already done. It is going to make getting the marshmallows out of here so simple. Trust me, go to town on the powdered sugar on the bottom. You'll appreciate that I told you to do that. They will come out very simple. The one that you see there on the cutting board popped right out. Now, if anybody out there knows what a fluffernutter is, I would probably, if I was hankering for one, get out the sandwich bread and the peanut butter right about now and have myself one before this sets up. All right. So again, it's this easy. It's just this easy. What can you do with marshmallows? Oh, come on, Nikki D, look at all the marshmallows you got there. What the heck are you going to do with those? You're not a sweets person. I'm not. I like sweets every once in a while. Usually at Christmas time, I will have enough that satisfy me throughout the rest of the year, much to the consternation of the rest of my family, although they are lucky because I usually give them my Christmas candy because I'm just not going to eat it. But I do like, when I was growing up, I liked Lucky Charms. I loved those little marshmallows. So one of the things I'm going to do with this is dehydrate them. I'll show you that in another recipe. But we are going to dehydrate some of these because yes, indeed, there are a lot of marshmallows here. I don't disagree. But I just love those crunchy little suckers. They're delicious. So I'm also going to put some powdered sugar over the top. And you want this to air dry overnight. I let the first one that I made over there dry for 2 nights before I cut it. Mostly because I got so darn busy I couldn't get back to it. We were working on a chicken coop. I was a guinea hen coop. I was super excited about being able to get the last bit of tin on it, and I did not have time to come back and do anything with the marshmallows. So it popped right out of the baking dish. It was very simple. So you let it cool overnight. You pop it out of the baking dish. You'll set it on your wire rack, like you can see this bit of what was here that I cut into. Let that dry a little bit more, maybe another hour or two on the baking rack. And then just go ahead and cut them up. They cut so easy. They don't stick. You can cut them smaller, you can cut them bigger. You can make long sticks out of them if you want to swizzle them into some hot chocolate and let them melt. Obviously, you can eat them just like this. But one year I made marshmallows for Christmas. It was the very first time I ever made homemade marshmallows. And I did a few different things. They were about this size, and I did some semi-sweet chocolate, I believe. No, I did semi-sweet and I did milk chocolate. I did 2. And I had 2 double boilers going, and I only dipped half the marshmallow. So those who like milk chocolate got milk chocolate, those who like semi-sweet got the semi-sweet. I also had made in that same Christmas mix some peppermint flavored marshmallow. I didn't add any red dye to it because I don't particularly like red dye, but I did put everything in a candy box and I labeled on the outside what everything was, and people went crazy. I didn't expect that. I was playing and I thought, I've got all these marshmallows. It's Christmas time, I'm going to give them away, and people went crazy over them. So try the recipe. There really is a difference between a homemade marshmallow and a store-bought one. And when you try the recipe, you're going to say thank you. If you try the recipe, please comment below or go to the blog and leave a comment there. I'd love to know if you guys are trying these or not. I will be back with part 2 of dehydrating marshmallows, telling you how to do that, and I'm getting a new dehydrator, so I want to show that to you as well. So this is Nikki D from 5 Dog Farm. Thank you so much for following along. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks so much. Go out there and make some marshmallows today. You'll be glad you did.